message. To whomever has got a career in the media because of who their parents are, like Victoria Corrin or Dad Snow, to whichever Oxbridge BBC producer it was who decided that while most universities are allowed to field one team in the University Challenge, Cambridge and Oxford are allowed to field 25 teams each. To the participants and creators of Smug Radio 4 panel and quiz shows, to any publisher who has or plans to publish a novel by Tony Parsons, anyone who uses the word splendid, the traffic planner who obliges pedestrians by the instalment of long railings at junctions to walk 30 yards contrary to their desired direction before delivering them to a place to cross the road, anyone that shows up their caring side by delivering a heartfelt tribute in memoriam via Twitter, comfortable middle-class London writers, media types who lionize other recently deceased comfortable middle-class London writers and media types with words like courageous, great, and a beacon of light, to every Labour MP who, while voicing a determination to subject Tory policy to detailed and robust examination and criticism in the chambers of the House of Commons, but also happily admits to having a jovial and friendly relationship with Tories outside the chamber, not understanding that in fact they should despise every poisonous ounce of every Tory, with every ounce of their own being at all times and everywhere, because Tories are all intolerable scum. Every ordinary member of the public who imagines him or herself quite the character and sage, e.g. practically every twit who ever appeared in the Fly on the Wall documentary centred around their job at the airport, the police force, as a traffic warden or in a hospital. Anyone who wins the lottery and instead of immediately leaving their job, moving to the south of France, buying a place with a small vineyard, buying themselves a clapped-out old Land Rover, making love to all the beautiful village girls, building a private library, smoking weed, writing poetry, reading the works of great minds and philosophizing, instead of all this, choosing to stay at their job, buy a new car and remain in Kilmarnock or some other God-forbidden dump. Every single person who believes that trade unions are some kind of alien force designed to destroy society, rather than entities made up of people like themselves, in short, anyone stupid enough to be persuaded to work against their own best interests by the rich and powerful who exploit them, anyone who is proud of the fact that they never wanted kids. Any journalist who begins an article piece to camera or slot on radio with the expression like, it hardly needs mentioning, and then goes on to do precisely that. Anyone who uses the word journey to describe anything other than their or anyone else's physical transfer from one place to the other, for example, X Factor, MasterChef, Deal or No Deal contestants, every single moron who ever appeared on Deal or No Deal, every single moron who ever has been in the audience of Deal or No Deal, every single moron who has ever been part of the audience of Top Gear. Every British sports car that revels in the adulation of British sports fans but chooses to pay no taxes in the UK by living in Monaco, every British sports fan who gives their adulation to British sports stars who choose to pay no taxes in the UK by living in Monaco. So all those responsible for Monaco even existing, a mystical place created inside, protected by, indemnified by, part of France, that by some kind of bullshit constitutional sleight of hand provides a legitimised tax haven by the sea for the super rich in the very centre of Europe. Ditto for Liechtenstein. All those football fans willing to forgive Russian oligarchs their crimes, the wholesale theft of their home nation's wealth, built up through the blood, sweat, tears, and slave labour of ordinary people through 80 years of totalitarianism. Forgive them all of this, as long as they bankroll the purchase of A-list footballers and a climb up the Premier League table. Any TV football pundit who is incapable of conjugating simple verbs like go and do, using the past participle where the preterite or the simple past would go. Anyone who says paella instead of paella, Anyone who thinks an ability to order a pizza and a beer in Italy means they speak Italian. That incredibly smug couple that played the central role in Mike Leigh's last movie, Another Year. Anyone who makes a movie that for the first half hour appears to be an interesting human drama and then very boringly introduces a gun or a murder or a bank heist into the plot. Every single one of those pathetic idiots who on the death of Steve Jobs set up and or visited public shrines to the man and emoted, and especially those with the silly burning candle app on their iPad or their iPhone. Every parent who thought it was a good idea to take their young children to lay flowers and cards at the scene of another child's murder in front of the Scotland television crew. Every writer who thought a voiceover in a movie would be a good idea. Car drivers who think owning a car and burning fuel is a right rather than a privilege. Woody Allen since 1990, and especially the Allen who made the risible movie Match Point and Vicky Cristina Barcelona, arguably the only movie that contains a struggling artist who flies a private plane, drives a red sports car. And there's more. Every rock star, movie star, alleged liberal or left-winger who has accepted a CBE, OBE, MBE or knighthood, every erstwhile revolutionary willing to try and excuse their increasing reactionary and revisionist behaviour as a perfectly rational process of age and experience, every manager and consultant behind the Edinburgh Tram Works, every Scotsman who by wearing the kilt imagines himself sexy and just a smidgen more like Sean Connery, wife beaters, the tweest of tweet writers, the Laura Ashley of literature himself, Alexander McCall Smith, Harry Potter actor Daniel Radcliffe, for having the nerve to even attempt to look sexy and interesting in adulthood. The givers of Flop for the Day on Radio 4, and many, many, many more. I wish you the lousiest Christmas